Hey lovelies, we're back with another hair video for Thursday, and if you want to see how she went from that to this, then of course you keep on watching, and let's get into this intro, baby.
Pretty so bad, Lanisha so hood. Pretty Lanisha, we came to slay, right? Fashion.
So lovelies, we're gonna start off by parting a little section at the top, going straight across her head, the top of her head. Basically, though, that section is going to be for the braids going straight back into the halo. So I'm going to braid this section up real quick just to get it out of the way so it can stay out of the way while I work on the rest of her head. And this is what that looks like. Now we're going to work on the back of her head. And I'm going to part her hair in the middle going straight across. I'm going to try to get it even straight across as good as I can. And I just want to warn you guys, this is going to be a long video, okay? So now we're going to part that top section in half so we could start working on parting our little oval or half crescent moons or whatever, curved lines parting. Okay, I don't know what to call it, but basically you see what I'm doing. I'm making some curved parts, and I'm gonna have like 8 of those curved parts for each section. So you see I'm doing another one on the side, and then I'm gonna do another one on the other side, and I'm gonna part her hair down the middle in the bottom. So she's gonna have like 4 big sections, and then she's gonna have those curved parts for each section. So on the left side of her head, the camera doesn't really catch it, so I'm just showing you what that looks like. Basically, I'm doing the same thing on each side for each section. So in total, she's gonna have like 8 little curved parts. You're gonna see me slow it down so you can actually see all 8 sections, little parted sections. I think I just slowed it down, but that clip is definitely coming up soon. And then you'll have an idea of what I'm getting at. You don't have to do it like this. You could actually make yours look like an actual flower, but I did it this way. You see she has the little 8 parts going on. I did it like this just because it was a little easier, a little quicker for me to get through this hairstyle. So we're going to begin the braiding process now, and I'm going to use some Shine and Jam or edge control. I don't remember exactly what I used, and I'm going to add some braiding hair. And just because her hair is not exactly long enough for this braided crown hairstyle, so I'm adding the braiding hair for length and also for longevity, because it's definitely going to keep this hairstyle looking fresh longer. So once I get towards this piece, I'm going to braid it a little down, and then I'm going to section out a little piece on the other side of this braid, as you can see, and I'm going to cross this braid over, and I'm going to continue to braid it down. So basically what I'm going for is like a crisscross look. I'm going to do the same thing for the braid that I'm about to create right now. I'm going to braid this down until my little curved piece is done. I'm going to go to the other side, on the other side of that braid, and I'm going to take a section out, and I'm going to braid that down. So you're going to see it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like a crisscross. You see how I cross the braid over and I continue to braid down. I know I have did this in multiple videos before, but I just want to show you exactly what I'm doing here and kind of explain it. And I'm going to do the same exact thing for this braid as well. getting down to our last section. I'm gonna perfect this part, and basically the section with the yellow scrunchie is gonna go into this section that I just finished perfecting the part. So here I'm just gonna make a heart where that yellow scrunchie is. I'm parting it in half, and this right here is gonna be a heart. Now I have done hearts on this channel multiple times. You guys should know how I do hearts by now. Basically, it's not really a good angle, I think, so I'm just gonna show you how I did the heart on the top. I'm basically gonna connect this heart to the other side of the head, which I said I was perfecting. So again, I'm doing a heart right here, and I hope this is a better angle. I'm adding my braiding hair so it's long enough to reach to the other side. I'm going to basically connect both of the ends of this heart, as you're going to see in a few seconds. I'm going to braid that down until it reaches the other side. So right here, you already see that I did the bottom heart braid and I crossed it over. That section is already done. I'm doing the exact same thing for this braid here on the top. You see that? That braid went into that section, and this braid is going into the other curved part that I had. And then of course I'm going to crisscross it over each other like I did for every other braid. So you see that was there, and this is going here, as you can see. I hope that made sense. I hope you see what I'm talking about, please. Because it's very simple. Like I said, I'm crossing it over like I did every other part, and I'm braiding it down. For the fill-in braids, I'm basically just parting a straight part or like a curved, a slanted, slightly curved part, just so that I could fill in that space. Everything is just going straight down, straight down, straight down for each section. And these little fill-in sections, you could basically do what you want to those sections. I decided to just braid it straight down. I'm basically doing the same thing for every fill-in section. Like every piece of hair that I haven't braided yet, I'm just braiding it going with the hairstyle. I'm just filling it in with these straight braids going down. Well, they're not exactly straight, but you guys get what I mean. You see what I mean. Okay, so right now we're getting into the hard part. Anybody that have kids know that babies have their comfort, their soothing mechanisms, what they do to soothe themselves. And basically hers is sucking on her finger and basically twirling her hair around her fingers, and that causes tension and it causes her to pop out her hair. So it's a bad habit that she does, but we're fixing it by keeping her hair braided. So what I'm doing is just braiding the braids going straight down like I did for every other part that you have seen. I filled in the braids with straight braids going down. And what I'm going to do to hide that spot that's missing here is I'm going to curve this part here, as you can see. And I'm going to braid it going towards the other braid. So you see right here, I'm braiding it, and I'm going to add some braiding hair just to give it some length. And I'm basically going to braid it and let it overlap over that middle braid. This middle braid right here, it's gonna overlap, and I'm gonna take the braid that's next to it out a little bit, not fully, and I'm basically gonna continue to braid that braid down and add in this hair, as you see, and I'm gonna braid it straight on down. So as you can see, it's hiding that spot that's missing here. And I could have did something else. As I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, I have another design that I could have did. But like I said, you be creative, and your child or your client is not gonna have a spot missing. You could basically do whatever you want. This is a creative hairstyle. So I'm just gonna braid the rest of those sections of hair going straight down. And I'm gonna do the same for the last section in the back. These are all going straight down. I'm curving it, the braids are going straight down. Now she also has a spot missing in the back, and her hair is a little short in the back, so I'm gonna also put some braiding hair back here as well. You don't have to add braiding hair to this hairstyle if your hair is long enough, if your client's hair is long enough, if your baby's hair is long enough. And for these two sections that I'm parting off right here, these are gonna be 2 braids going straight down. That's it, 2 braids going straight down. Now we're all done with the back and the, you know, filling in. Now we're gonna finish this section here. You see I did 3 braids going straight back on the sides, and now for the middle I'm gonna part it diagonally as you saw, and I'm gonna braid that going in a diagonal. I'm doing the second braid the exact same way, and once I'm done with the second braid, I'm gonna go to the other side. So this is her right side, and I'm braiding those braids going in a diagonal. So now I'm gonna go to the left side of her hair. I'm gonna even it up as much as I can so it could be just the same as the right side. I'm gonna braid those going in a diagonal towards the right side of her head, and then I'm gonna cross it over. So you see I'm parting out this little section here, so that braid that I braided on the left side is gonna cross over those 2 braids that I braided on the right side of her head. Now the second braid that I did on the right side of her head, I'm gonna cross it over to the left side, and I'm gonna cross the first braid that I did on the right side of her head also to the left side, and then I'm gonna braid another braid going in a diagonal towards the right side of her head on the left side, and I'm gonna cross it, that braid that I braided on the left side, to the right side. You're basically gonna see what it looks like. And then for the remaining braids, it's just going straight back, as you see, straight back. Like I said, be creative with this hairstyle. I've seen people just do full straight backs with this section that I have going on here. They did full straight backs. It doesn't have to be crisscross like I did. See how I crisscrossed it over? You don't even have to do that. You could do these straight backs that I'm doing right now, and it will still look pretty, and it will still look awesome. Now it's time to start the Halo braid, the official Halo braid. I started it off like I did a box braid. You know, I took my 2 pieces, I crossed them over each other, and I basically do a knotted cornrow. And I call it a knotted cornrow because I'm not feeding in the hair at the beginning. I'm feeding it in, you know, in the middle, because I want the hair to have the same consistency throughout this large braid. So I just I fed in some hair, I think twice, and I continue to braid it all the way around. And once I get to the end, I basically just braid it all the way to the end, and I use my flat iron to basically like close it off. You could use a lighter, You could use whatever you want to use that you have on hand, but I had a flat iron on hand, so I used it basically to seal off the end, and I bobby pinned it in place. But then I decided to use my curling iron to, you know, get some of those flyaways down, and I decided to tuck the end, sew it up, sew that in. As you can see, I sewed it up, and I'm basically gonna connect it to the beginning where I started the halo braid, and that way the pins are not bothering her. She doesn't have to take out the pins, she can't pull out the pins, and it will last longer this way, and it looks seamless. It looks more seamless this way. Once I finished sewing it up, I used mousse to finish off the hairstyle, and she is done. Completed look. I did her baby hair, and this is the completed look. I hope you like it, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video if you like it, and check out my previous videos. I did a DIY hoodie, and I did jumbo lemonade braids. And also check out the description bar for more information. And this is honestly the finished look. I hope you like, and here's some stills of this finished hairstyle, and I'll see you next time in my next video, Sewing Sundays. So later, lovelies.